for me will be a kwaba eba Melodies TV so. Well, if for some reason Endra would name the AC ya NDC mbebunu a wamoko eye Mahama office say eneso usu bempase oba aba beye protest ewo ho nti no. Omonso NDC for wamoko akwakoye general cleanup. Enra President Akufo Addo ebe jina Ghana foni n'enim ekasetia sa NDC mmebunu no na me report was story no so se obese oti nsema President Akufo Addo kan ya okọ ye channel ne so a obenya nini na ende NDC mmebunu no aba bonten e the response abre President Akufo Addo yenko kinkan o say Greater Accra Youth Wing. President Akufo Addo is the biggest threat to peaceful elections in 2024, not NDC youth. Because utie Akufo Addo nsema wokan ase na opese or draw the conclusion say ene so usu bempa pese okọ piketi ewo Mahama fie ana Mahama ni private office a NDC for ekọ se wo mokoye clean up nti o se NDC for say to trust no mode a show motrim say omode ko abato 2024 emu. Nti ende NDC mbebunu so trese dabi ye ka 2024 abato ne dia nipa kra etuturasem ewo ni trim no eye ono President Akufo Addo enye omo NDC mbebunu no bi nti anomo kasa yenkum. Also, the regional youth wing has become aware of provocative comments by President Akufo Addo, which sought to suggest that the November 23rd cleanup exercise at the office of the flag bearer of our dear party John Dramani Mahama was an action intended to stage violence in the 2024 elections. We have also taken notice of how pro-new patriotic party tabloids and communicators are on an inexorable mission to fan President Akufo Addo's comments in a fruitless attempt to shift attention from President Mahama's proposed transformative 24-hour economic policy. Tomoto omodi wa moko oso wa moko akwa clean up. No mo hu ne se Akufo Addo kasetia sa clean up no. Omo hu se MPP fonso kasetia omo clean up a wo moko koyeye. No mo hu ne se die ntia Akufo Addo ni MPP 4 years and se wo mo hu ne se Ghana for kasa about Mahama ne 24-hour economic policy no. Inti no omo sheda the way aba be film so that Ghana for be bo Mahama echi no mo eja 24-hour economic policy na wo mo eka ho asem no. Okay. So it comes as a surprise to us that the president superintending over the current jaw-dropping levels of economic mismanagement created by his ineffectiveness and lousiness will take up a propagandist lead role in tagging responsible citizens with violence for embarking on a cleanup exercise. Say, President awo ti oman mu ende oman ni sika sem ni na tete apansama sei. We nyanya nsasem bia nka. Obi clean up exercise awokoye nende wo president no be kasa wo ho. Asemo NDC mbebunu ka tre Akufo Addo no. As if the president has soon forgotten, we wish to remind him that the cleanup exercise was a stand-in action for his failed promise to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Instead of seeking to paint us in bad light for despicable political advantage, President Akufo Addo should have applauded us for taking up an exercise that he failed woefully to deliver. Almost one of President Akufo Addo promises Oma Ghana, and they say, Obema Accra aye the cleanest city in Africa. Into wasi Akufo Addo anye, na Mahama sebe ni office abofin, no omo kwa ya obe kaseti omo, na ke wasi Akufo Addo babe do omo asimum. Se mi Akufo Addo me kase mema Accra aye the cleanest city, na mentumi anye NDC mbebunu no, mo obo ame aye. Asamo NDC mbebunu ka tre Akufo Addo no. Also, the belching of warning over supposed brandishing of machetes is the weakest and illogical of all admonishments to have come from the president. Typical of President Akufo Addo, he chose to wear his hypocritical lenses on November 23rd. Hence, he saw people holding only machetes, but did not see those who carried brooms, shovels, mops, etc. So, see Akufo Addo yenya achum. Sabi, omo fa sekan pe no hu ye. Na so nkofo bebre eba ya no ebi mo kita praye ebi mo ekita mop, ebi mo kita shovel, atres wo mo ye clean up ankasa wo mahama ho. Akufo Addo oyenya atwumenti di omu kita sekan ne kwa no hu ekan ho asem. Also respectfully, was the president expecting us to use bread knife from Mrs. Rebecca Akufo Addo's kitchen for the cleanup exercise? If that was the case, what stopped him from sending any of his wandering elephant-sized presidential staffers to make them available to us? So mo be say Akufo Addo say sebe clean up do mo kokoye o mahama ho no. Omo pese Akufo Addo pese omo use bread knife ewo Akufo Addo ne yere ne kitchen ana. Inti Akufo Addo feel say na nka mo beso mbe use sekan ya adenti e na wansoma eye Flagstaff house for ni bi say wo mo amba eye baby omo ye clean up no. Or say if there was and still is any Ghanaian who poses threats to our democracy ahead of the 2024 election, it is President Akufo Addo himself. It was under his watch that about 8 unsuspecting Ghanaians were killed by state-sponsored brigands. So I say obi ewo ho was say Ghana events a democracy 2024 about ye obe say na Akufo Addo, because 2020 about ye koto ye ngrofo 8 ewu ye under onu Akufo Addo no wanka ho asem. And you see, it amazes me. In America, say yet your mind will ejura killings ni nyama ni Akufo Addo anka ho asem. Na me re fikra mambo 2020 about ye kokum ngrofo manka ho asem. Akufo Addo anka ho asem. Na NDC for akoma hama ho a wo kita sekan ye ne ho na Akufo Addo beso draw the line. Intene na NDC for kano. I say it is Akufo Addo. It is President Akufo Addo himself. It was under his watch that about 8 unsuspecting Ghanaians were killed by the state-sponsored brigands. These thugs are gleefully walking in the streets of Ghana without apprehension because they are members of the militants President Akufo Addo said while in opposition that were on their side. His belligerent posturing emboldened thugs to attack ASP Nanka Bruce at the Jubilee House without a word from him. A president who is committed to peace would not be keeping known notorious land guards aside as aid the camp when the Ghana Armed Forces have made adequate provision for his protection. This unprecedented conduct tells how President Akufo Addo himself is enmeshed in hooliganism. As the President Akufo Addo's reaction, whether panic-stricken or well-planned, only confirms the democratic delinquent badge of shame he has acquired so far as sanctioning attacks on political opponents is concerned. His hands are soiled with blood of innocent Ghanaians his thugs have so far killed, and the earlier he starts asking the Almighty Maker for forgiveness of sin, the better. I see Akufo Addo nsa ho omoja. When he send ya ngrofo etale ne ho ngrofo eben no ekunkum nipa na Akufo Addo nsa ho omoja nti ono obeye bibia onhye ase se onsre nyankopon bonefache. Also, the president should take note that the November 23rd cleanup exercise at the office of Mr. Mahama would not be the first, neither will it be the last. In line with the NDC flag bearers' pledge, we are committed to a peaceful Ghana as we journey into the 2024 elections. However, President Akufo Addo and his political hangers-on should note that if they dare stage their gangsteric antics like they did in past elections, we shall equally meet them. So Akufo Addo say, NDC for clean up na mokoko ye no. Omu nya ende ochina ka ho. Na omu me Akufo Addo ati ase. Say senya 2020 abato no. Omu ye gangster nyama ko bubọ nkrofo bitu no. Saa no mo be ye ewo boemu dia ene NDC for ebe face omo squarely. Also this time around, nobody will fold his arms and call on civil and moral society to condemn President Akufo Addo and his trigger-happy tax when strike, kill and maim NDC members. In the 2024 elections, if the NPP comes with peace, we shall embrace them with peace. However, if they come the other way around, we will meet them squarely. And this has been signed by Amose Amos Blessing, the regional youth organizer of the NDC. Ono ena wode ne nsem atoja fefefe sa no a wo ka kire Akufo Addo say 2024 the NDC emba mbedi agro samo de tutu asem ba ye de tutu asem be hia mo samo de asomdwe ba ene de NDC fo nso de asomdwe ebe den ebe hia mo na wakasa watre na dwen nini na mu no me my reaction on asem way so that in some way Akufo Addo ba because na me hu ne say some radio personalities are also bashing Akufo Addo say same way Akufo Addo na ba beka no sebe amonti ase. And I like how today President Akufo Addo say people can also speak back to him and tell him say nana somehow what can it and yes I really like that level into no NDC for youth I mean befitting response on the Akufo Addo no montre ma comment box ni mo me da ase.